Hi guys, good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeet Bhatia again with a new video on your legal affairs for CLAT 2022 and AILET 2022. Okay, so I hope everybody can hear me clearly and see me clearly. So that is great. Okay, so we'll be starting with legal affairs. If you are new on the channel, a like, share, and subscribe would be great. So kindly hit on the like, share, and subscribe button. Now, if you are not a part of our Telegram channel, please make sure that you are subscribing to our Telegram channel also. That will be great for us and it will be great for you also, because you'll be getting all the updates about our new videos that are coming up, quizzes that keeps on happening, and also you can get free material that we upload on that channel perfectly all right for everyone who are writing the law entrance exams in 2022 or are preparing for 2023 also. Now, the first thing I've told you to hit the like, share, and subscribe so it reaches a lot of people, and also you can join our Telegram channel. If you're looking for any counseling sessions, you can definitely give us a call on 5 times 9 75392. Okay, so starting the video for the day, that what are these legal affairs that we are going to look for this week. I have picked out very major legal affairs and some of the legal affairs that require some interpretative skills also, and you should remember that these legal affairs can pop up in your exam according to a comprehension based passages, and you might be following these legal affairs or legal passages and finding the principle to be applied in your factual based scenarios. ओके सो इस चीज का आप बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान रखें कि ये सब आपके एग्जाम में कभी भी आ सकता है और आपको पता होना चाहिए. राइट नाउ द फर्स्ट legal affair for the day is that the new rules for allowing abortion till 24 weeks. There is a new amendment in the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act of 2021, and it was passed in March of 2021 itself. Right now they have some new rules that were coming up in this act, and the government has incorporated these new rules into the MTP Act of 2021. Now the point that they have changed, or the new rules that they have introduced, are: the first one is the gestational limit for termination of pregnancy has been increased from 20 to 24 weeks. Right, earlier it used to be 20 weeks, which is basically 5 months. Now if you are looking for that, now it is increased to 6 months itself. So it is basically 24 weeks for exceptional categories of women in India. Right, so there are some categories that are being defined where the women can go for such kind of an abortion policy also, which extends up to 24 weeks. Now coming to the next part is that women for whom the limit has been increased comprises of minors. Okay, this, the first category is minors. The second one is the survivors of sexual assault. If there's a woman who's been a survivor of a sexual assault, has a baby in her womb, and it's also 6 months after the pregnancy is there, also can abort the baby inside her womb also. That's possible. Now coming to the next part is rape or incest, or those having physical disabilities, those whose marital status changed during pregnancy, that in the case of widowhood or divorce. Right, so if there's a woman who's seeking divorce and gets pregnant during that period of time, she has the right to abort such a fetus that's there in her, and that will be something which is completely legal. And these are the special status that is being given to some females who can abort till 24 weeks. Now it also includes fetal malformation. If the fetus which is there is malformation is going on, and the child which will be born with very grave in disabilities, so that will be something that the people can do, is that they can abort that fetus. That is definitely possible where there is a risk of physical or mental abnormalities, mentally ill, and the widowhood of divorce. Right, just give me a second guys, just give me a second. Yes, guys. So that is something that we have to understand. And now it includes the fetal malformation also, where there is a risk of physical or mental abnormalities, right? Mental ill women or women in disaster or emergency situations declared by the government. राइट सो अगर कोई भी वुमेन डिजास्टर या डिसेबिलिटी की सिचुएशन या इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन में पोस्टेड है एंड शी वांट्स टू गेट दैट fetus aborted or there is a malformation, then that is definitely possible according to the new rules and regulations that are being introduced in the MTP Act of 2021. Right, so these were the rules that were put up, and you can also take a screenshot of these rules. You can learn them as if you want to, right? So these are the changes that were incorporated in the MTP Amendment Act of 2021. So that is the first legal affair that I had to discuss, and it is a very important legal affair. This can definitely pop up in your exam, and you should be very well aware of it, right? So do give it a read on your own also. Now coming to the next thing is that Telangana is the first state which is becoming to test mobile-based e-voting system, right? So now you can see that they are to bring on the e-voting system. Basically, you will be voting from your mobile phones. Right now, the Telangana State Election Commission has planned to conduct a dry run of the mobile-based e-voting system. अगर आपने ये देखा है, तो अब आप देखेंगे कि अब वहाँ पे एक dry run हो रहा है. Basically, they will try out that how it works or how it functions. Right, so that is the mobile-based e-voting system. Now, the next one that comes up here is the development of this system is because of the necessities of holding polls in India. That is due to the like the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the system, if successful, will facilitate vote using smartphones from home, right? If you are able to do that, that will allow the usage of smartphones from home, right? That will be helpful for voting for. Yeah, and the dry run will be held in a particular district. They have selected a particular district of Telangana, which is the Khammam district, right, for voting on 20th of October. It will be India's first smartphone-based e-voting process, right? So that is what is being happening. Now, coming to the next part, that is the Center to Constitution. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. There's a problem in my internet. Just give me a second. Okay, so there is a new that is coming up, that is the Center to Constitute National Road Safety Board, right? This is also something that is coming up. So as you know that there is adoption of new technology that is coming up in India also. If you can see that there is autonomous driving, there is self-driving cars that are coming up. So there is going to be a lot of change in the automobile industry in the future for India, right? So that is something that we have to understand, which will take a long way for our country. As you know, the highest amount of accidents that happen in our country happens on the roads itself, because of the roads not being very, very safe in our country. Because, you know, if you have driven on Indian roads, you can see that there are cows, buffaloes, there are different animals that run by on the roads, and the roads are not very safe. And the people who also drive on the roads are like, all of them are not very capable of driving in the country. So definitely they have to understand that we have to go for promoting road safety, innovation, and adaptation of new technology, right? The people should be like charged fines if they're not driving in their lanes. They should be made sure that the proper protocols are are being maintained, right? So that is something which is really important in this case. Now it will also regulate traffic and motor vehicles, right? So you have to also understand if it is happening in that manner, right, it will also help to regulate the traffic and the motor vehicles in the country. And next, it was a notification that specified the provisions for the composition eligibility for chairmen and members of the board, right? तो इसके अंदर जब उन्होंने बोर्ड बनाया तो इसके अंदर ये composition के बारे में भी specific provisions बनाए गए हैं, right? And the term of the office, how the person will be selected, what is the power of that function, of the power of that person, and the functions of the board, procedures of resignation and removals, and meetings of the boards, etc., right? So these are the kind of things that has to be followed, and this will be very helpful in the future also, right? Because in India there is a very major need for improving the road safety, right? So this will definitely help them to do that, right? So this was the legal affair for the day. Now coming to the next legal affair, that is that there are changes that are also being proposed in the Forest Conservation Act, right? So if you know that environment is picking up a lot of footage these days, and it is very important to save the environment and follow environmental friendly protocols also, because they will help us in the long way and the future generations to come also. So definitely the center is also promoting some of the changes in these Conservations Act. Now the Ministry of Environment, right, the Forest and the Climate Change, that is MOEFCC, has proposed the amendment to the Forest Conservation Act of 1980 in a bid to liberalize the forest laws, right? So forest laws have been a lot of forest laws are existing in our country, right? A person can collect his livelihood if the only way of getting the livelihood is the forest for them, and they have been living in the forest for a long period of time. There are a lot of things of this sort that are being put up, right? So these things should be kept very closely, because they will help us to understand that forest changes and what all these liberalization of forest laws can lead to. Now the first thing that happened was that the amendment put forward the stringent norms for the conservation of forest by hiking the penal provisions for offenses, right? अब इसके अंदर अगर किसी ने कोई भी एक्ट किया जो फॉरेस्ट लॉस के अगेंस्ट में है, तो उसके लिए penal provisions बढ़ाए जाए और उसके ऑफेंसेस को भी बढ़ाया जाए by hiking the penal provisions, मतलब जेल का टाइम बढ़ाया जाए या फाइन बढ़ाया जाए, ऐसी कोई भी चीज की जाए. So that was the amendment that was put forward. Now the amendment also provides for maintaining the pristine forests, right? Non-forestry activity will not be allowed within the pristine forest under any circumstances. अब कुछ फॉरेस्ट को वो pristine forest के नाम से recognize करना चाहते हैं और वहां पे कोई भी activity नहीं हो सकती. It is just for the conservation purposes, right? So that is what is happening in the pristine forests, and they will not allow any activity there. Now under the amendment also, the deemed forests that have been listed by the state government up to 1996, ठीक है, जो 1996 तक स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने रिकॉग्नाइज कर दिए थे, will be continue to be considered as forest land, right? So जो deemed forest list कर दिए थे स्टेट ने up to 1996, they will be continue to be deemed as forest land. Simple as that. The land that is being acquired by the railways or the road ministry before 1980 on which forest came up will not be considered as forest. ठीक है, अगर उन्होंने कोई रोड ले ली थी 1980 से पहले और उस पे कोई फॉरेस्ट आ गया तो उसको फॉरेस्ट कंसिडर नहीं किया जाएगा, right? So that is something that is also been like given in these amendments. Now amendment will also reduce the flow from foreign exchange for importing wood and wood derivatives of approximately 45,000 crores by the means of encouraging plantation and afforestation. So if you know that we import a lot of wood, and the furniture that we have in our homes and all these places are very important, ठीक है? So this will also reduce the flow from foreign exchange for importing wood and wood डेरिवेटिव्स, जो वुड से बनाई हुई चीजें होती है, उनके बारे में 45,000 बाय द मीन्स ऑफ एनकरेजिंग प्लांटेशंस, जिससे वो और पेड़ लगाएंगे, जिससे बहुत ज्यादा हेल्प होगी नेचर की, एंड एफॉरेस्टेशन, राइट, तो हाउ टू ग्रो प्लांट्स मोर एफिशिएंटली, राइट, तो वो भी सिखाएंगे, डिस्ट्रॉय कैसे करते हैं, वापस कैसे लगाते हैं, सब कुछ की ट्रेनिंग भी दी जाएगी एंड एनकरेज किया जाएगा उनको ये करने के लिए, ठीक है। सो ये हो रहा है आपका changes that have been proposed in the Forest Conservation Act. Very important, and this can definitely pop up in your exam. और pristine forest ऐसा कुछ भी दे सकते हैं वो आपके एग्जाम में, and you should be ready with the answers, right? Because now we have discussed this, so it is in your knowledge. So do go definitely and read up on this act also, that what is happening there. Okay. The next news is unremarried ex-wife incapable of maintaining herself has the right to maintenance beyond iddat period, right? ये केरला कर्नाटका हाईकोर्ट ने ये चीज बोली है। अब आप जब आप लॉ स्कूल में जाएंगे तो तलाक, इद्दत, ऐसे आपको मुस्लिम लॉस के डिवोर्सेस के बारे में बताया जाएगा, राइट, इद्दत पीरियड के बारे में बताया जा रहा है यहाँ पे। नाउ दैट इट इज the court held that it is the duty of the Muslim man, right, to make the provisions for his ex-wife's maintenance beyond iddat period despite paying meher. Meher is the amount जो शादी में मिलता है, right? इसको आप समझिए कि डोवरी का opposite है ये, right? The male pays the meher to the female, right? It is the amount that is being paid, but ये dowry नहीं होता, right? Dowry is very different, but ये exchange of money है जो मेल देता है फीमेल की फैमिली को, राइट, और टू द फीमेल, दैट इट इज एज द सिक्योरिटी, ओके, दैट इफ शी रिमेन्स अनरीमैरिड एंड इज केपेबल ऑफ मेंटेनिंग हरसेल्फ। अब यहाँ पे क्या कहा गया है कर्नाटका हाईकोर्ट के द्वारा, इज दैट द मुस्लिम मैन, राइट, उसको मेंटेनेंस देना पड़ेगा अपनी एक्स वाइफ को beyond iddat period also, and even despite paying her the meher amount. अगर उसने मेहर भी दे दिया है, वापस सब कर दिया है, तब भी उसको इद्दत पीरियड के बियॉन्ड उसको मेंटेनेंस देना पड़ेगा। इफ शी रिमेन्स अनमैरिड, और वो अपने आप को मेंटेन नहीं कर सकती, शी इज नॉट एबल टू मेंटेन हरसेल्फ, राइट, तो ऐसी चीजों पे कर्नाटका हाईकोर्ट ने अभी ये डिसीजन दिया है कि अगर वो अनमैरिड रहती है और वो अपने आप को नहीं सपोर्ट कर सकती, अपनी बेसिक नीड्स को नहीं सपोर्ट कर सकती, देन डेफिनेटली शी इज इनकेपेबल ऑफ मेंटेनिंग हरसेल्फ, सो शी विल बी गिवन मेंटेनेंस। And the court made it very clear that the right of an unremarried ex-wife to recover maintenance is coextensive with the requirement, the yardstick being the life essentials and not the luxury. ठीक है जी, तो इन्होंने सीधा बोल दिया कि एसेंशियल्स तक ही मेंटेनेंस जाएगा, कोएग्जिस्टेंस विद द रिक्वायरमेंट, ठीक है। अब यार्ड स्टिक जो है वो एक लाइफ एसेंशियल है, कोई लग्जरी नहीं है, राइट। So that is something that they have also said. So the Karnataka High Court has given this remarkable decision in this case, and also they are fighting for the rights of someone who cannot maintain themselves, which is definitely important in our country. And also this is a very sensitive case too, so they have handled it pretty carefully also, and I have explained you that as it was being given by the Karnataka High Court. So very interesting case, something really good for the society, so you can give it a read too. Coming to the next case for the day, that is the infringement of right to life of rape victim outweighs the right to life of the child in womb. Okay, so the Telangana High Court permits minor rape victim about 26-week-old fetus, राइट। तो अब देखिए, अभी हम अपने मेडिकल टर्मिनेशन ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी एक्ट 2021 के अमेंडमेंट्स के बारे में अभी हमने जब पढ़ा, सो वी रेड दैट दे हैव गिवन अ 24 वीक, राइट, गेस्टोस्टिनल टर्मिनेशन के बारे में वो बात कर रहे थे, एंड दे हैव गिवन 24 वीक्स एज द टाइमलाइन फ्रॉम इंक्रीज फ्रॉम 20 वीक्स। But here, the Telangana High Court has taken this decision of permitting an abortion of a 26-week-old fetus, right? So that is something that is being given by Justice B. Vijayasen Reddy, right? That he said that the dignity, the self-respect, the healthy living, mental or physical, are facets of right of life and personal liberty. enshrined under Article 21 of the Constitution of India, which includes right of the women to make a choice of pregnancy and termination of pregnancy in case where pregnancy is caused by rape or sexual abuse, or for that matter, unplanned pregnancy, subject to reasonable restrictions under law. Right. So that is something that the quote unquote the court has said, and this is said by Justice B. Vijay Sen Reddy, and he has clearly said that it is on the woman that if if she wants to keep the baby or not, it's her choice. And in this case, where the pregnancy is caused by such rape or sexual abuse, then definitely or a matter of unplanned pregnancy that the people might not have planned it, right? So that is subject to reasonable restrictions under law. So that's a reasonable restriction आप abort करा सकते हैं अगर आप ऐसी किसी category में fall करते हैं तो, right? So that is something that the court has said very clearly, very straightforward, and we can see. देखिए अब आप मेडिकल टर्मिनेशन ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी एक्ट तो जो है वो है, बट कोर्ट ने भी अपना डिसीजन अलग से दिया है इस पे. सो दैट्स समथिंग दैट इज रिमार्केबल एंड यू हैव टू सी दैट टू. नाउ कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट न्यूज फॉर द डे, दैट इज डू सोशल सर्विस टू अटोन फॉर सिंस. राइट, अब आप देखेंगे community service is something that is being coming up in the courts, and we have been reading a lot of cases. If you watch my previous videos, you will find that I have told about so many cases where community service is being given as a decision or as a punishment to the person who has committed a certain crime, right? So that is something that you have to understand, that these kinds of judgments makes a lot of difference to the society. Okay, so they are increasing in nature. There are a lot of people who are giving such judgments, so we have to understand it in a manner that this is like a societal change that is being given by the courtrooms in our country, right? So this was a FIR that was being given out by a woman because the woman was threatened by a man to throw acid on her, right? But the court, what they did, obviously there was a mutual settlement that happened between both the parties, that we don't know what was that mutual settlement, but there was an FIR that was made under on the man, right? The FIR is the first investigation report that was being filed on the man, and also you have to understand there was a case of stalking and also accusing of threatening a woman to throw acid on her face. Right now, the Delhi High Court has directed him to do a 1 month of social service to atone for his sins, right? Because you can see now here, all the people who watch my video or who are watching my video, and if you are not above 18 or if you are about to turn 18, then you have to realize that giving such a threat can also lead to a lot of things in your life. So make sure that you mind your actions very, very carefully in the world right now, because if you can't take things very lightly as you do in your school time, so make sure that you are taking care of this thing in your life. Okay, so you are not becoming such a human being who will do such acts, right? I am pretty sure all the people here belong to great backgrounds and also are also good people, right? So that I wish and I hope for that. So you have to see that the Delhi High Court has given such a judgment where they have told the person to go for 1 month of social service, as he is also the Justice Subramaniam Prasad was one of the very famous justices in the Delhi High Court, and also he directed the man to do 1 month community service in Lok Nayak Jay Prakash Narayan Hospital. ठीक है, ये LNJP हॉस्पिटल है जिसके बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं. So and impose a cost of 35,000 on him to be deposited in the Army Welfare Fund Battle Casualties. ठीक है जी, उनसे 35,000 की कॉस्ट भी भरवा ली और इसको आर्मी वेलफेयर फंड बैटल कैजुअलिटीज में जो था उसमें डलवा दिए पैसे, राइट? सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट द दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट हैज डन एंड दीज आर अमेजिंग स्टेप्स दैट दे टेक, राइट? इससे पहले हमने एक बिहार हाई कोर्ट का एक जजमेंट पढ़ा था जिसके अंदर द पर्सन threatened a woman of like something of this sort only, and he was a washerman. Okay, वो धोबी था बंदा, and the person was told to wash the clothes of all the women in the society in that village, and that was the social service punishment that was given to that person. So these are the kind of things that we will see in our courts coming up very frequently. If you see the justice system in United States of America, if also like a minor is being caught doing some act, they make sure that they go to the community service. They give community some service because of the acts that they have done, and also it gives a better way of justice system. Also, it helps the society on the other end, or also gives a lesson to the person who has committed that act. Okay, so it's a win-win situation for both of them. So ये देखिए यहाँ पे भी यही चीज हुई है और यही दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने फॉलो किया, which is an amazing step. So now coming to the last part is the section 125 of CRPC, right? The father is not absolved from maintaining children merely because mother is also earning. ठीक है जी. तो सीआरपीसी का एक्ट है कि अगर मेंटेनेंस दी जा रही है बच्चों के लिए, चाहे मदर कमाती हो, तो फादर इज नॉट एब्सॉल्व फ्रॉम मेंटेनिंग चिल्ड्रन. ठीक है, कि आपकी लाइबिलिटी नहीं है अब चिल्ड्रन, ऐसा नहीं है, चाहे विमेन कमाती ही हो. ओके, सो द फादर इज ऑल्सो इक्वली रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द चाइल्ड. सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट टू. नाउ द दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट हैज ऑब्जर्व्ड दैट इन द हाउसहोल्ड्स वेयर women are working and able to sufficient maintain themselves, it does not automatically absolve the husband of such their responsibilities. And also the observation was made in the connection of the revision of maintenance order that was passed under section 125 of the CRPC, that is the Criminal Procedure Code. The Justice Subramaniam Prasad observed that the mother cannot be burdened with the entire expenditure for raising and educating the child. Right? So this is the judgment that was given. Section 125 Criminal Procedure Code. All these things were mentioned by the Delhi High Court. And also don't think that these cases might come up in your exam. They might not even come up, but these cases may give you a perspective about how the legal language works. And if you are seeing that sufficient maintain themselves, automatically absolve the husband of his responsibility. So these kinds of things, when you read, then you'll get in the habit of understanding what do they mean. You have to read and understand the intentions of these lines. Okay, so very smart reading is required. So reading habit is very important if you are planning to give the law entrance exams. So do make sure that you read a lot in these times when you are preparing. Okay, so that is it for today, guys. I hope you were able to get some knowledge out of the affairs that we have covered today, and I wish that we can get some suggestions from you guys also regarding what kind of videos do you need, because I'll be continuing legal affairs for the next few weeks too, because that is something which is really important and people might focus on their legal affairs for all the exams that they're giving. Okay, so you also post us some suggestions. If you are looking to post us some suggestions on our Facebook page, also you can go there and post your suggestions too, and also you can leave your suggestions in the comment box. I read all the comments that the students leave, so that will be great on your end, right? So as you can see that there is an increase in the COVID cases in the United Kingdoms. There were around 50,000 cases that were being reported in the UK like in the past day. So definitely there is a hit of fourth wave which has hit this country really bad. So I request all of you to maintain social distancing, keep using your hand sanitizers and wear your masks, and also make sure that you're not going to crowded places and avoid social contact as much as possible, right? So do take care of yourself, keep smiling, keep preparing, and also take care of your health, your physical health and your mental health, both of them, right? Take care, guys. Bye-bye. See you on Friday with another video. Do post your suggestions and hit the like, share and subscribe button for the support in the channel, right? Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.